welcome to another episode of A Little Something, the number two. Wine About with your hostesses, Siobhan Camille. Bonjour.
And Tae Michelle.
Where sips get real and we wine while we whine about life, relationship, culture, and so much more over, of course, a glass of wine. It is third Wednesday, which means it is Wine with the Guys. And we have the OG, triple OGs with us. We got the husband and the man on the couch who has gone through a bazillion iterations, and he is now still the man on the couch. So he's holding that strong. We're gonna talk about it's October, Pink October, tatas, all that stuff. So we're gonna talk to these fellas about raising daughters, right? Because we're gonna keep this on with. I think that's the topic. Let me make sure.
Yes, you are correct.
Okay, great. So we're gonna talk about being a girl dad. Y'all don't want to know what my October's been so far. Okay, we just got here. Y'all don't want to know.
This the first.
Well, it won't be by the time y'all get here. But listen, it's been a month. Okay, I already claimed that in the name of Jesus. Way too much running around this month. Way too much. So anyway, grab a glass of your favorite red, white, rosé, pinot de agua, and join us on the couch. Do not drink and drive, y'all. Especially it's getting rainy out here. Please don't do that. And snow is coming, depending on where you are. Winter cometh.
Winter is here.
Winter is coming, Jon Snow. So please don't drink and drive. Okay, be safe.
Yeah, what she said, and all that jazz. Hey y'all, hey. Oh, I cut myself. Damn it. Okay, sorry. I just realized I got a cut on my finger. I would love to know where I got it from. I don't know too much right now. I hope you all have had a productive week thus far. This month, in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we are doing pink, red, pink, pinky, off pink, off red, pinky wines. Okay? So, grab yours and join us as we talk to these wonderful gentlemen around.
Listen, that's what October has been, y'all.
About raising the opposite chromosomes and all that entails. As you know, if you are not new to the show, they have daughters. A lot of them. But before we get into that, Sissy, let us know what your popping grapes experience is gonna be for this wonderful pinky month.
So this is a 2024, so it's kind of young. Y'all know how I like it. This is a 2024 Rosé by Olema out of Côte de Provence in France.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like you just got something stuck in the back of your throat.
It is 12.5 ABV, so we're going to see what happens this evening.
Okay, and we is 16. This is Pigstown limited release Crush. Or Old Crush, depending on how you look at it. That was the debatical. Before we started, this is, as I stated, 16% alcohol by volume. It's out of New Jersey, and we about to see if this is a crush. A smash or pass? Great. So, while I pour, Sissy, you want to take the intro question or statement or whatever?
I don't know, like, how I feel like we've talked to y'all about y'all daughters before, so I'm not trying to hit on the stuff that we've already hit on. But the one question I do have, I guess, because the funny part is, both of y'all first kid was a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Both of y'all, your first child was not a youngster, was not a young man, wasn't a junior. Well, it may have been an attitude and personality, but that thing came out as a female. So, how was that when you got smacked?
Why?
When you got fed? Women have two X's.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Right.
Why?
Right. We two exes. We are Wakanda forever in here. Okay, that's where women are.
Oh, why
So how did y'all feel when that came out? Especially because both of y'all were what, like 20, 21?
22. 20. 20.
20. I knew one of y'all was 20. So I see split the middle, 21. So yeah, how was that?
I had a child coming, so I was like,
Right.
up. I got to straighten up. So, and the fact that she was a girl, I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do that. I better not do that. Oh, it was I had to change some manly ways. Let's just leave it there. I had to change some things. Had changed
Okay.
just you know had changed some things.
Okay.
It didn't really hit home until the second one though, because she spent more time with her mom than she did with me. I had to just remember like, oh, you're a girl. You know what I mean? Like I had to remember like you're a girl. So there's certain things that you got to do. That's a girl. If I'm driving down the road, it's not as hard for me to use a bathroom if I got to pee. But for you, you're a girl. You can't just zip and keep moving. That's not how this works. You can't just go to any old you porta potty, anything like that. These are the things that I had to remember. Right, right, right.
Was this the first one or the second one?
That was that was the first and the second, but it was really on the second one because I had her till she was 6, so little different. The first one, it was reminders. It was like, yeah, I'm gonna pull over. You said you gotta go. I'm gonna pull. Ooh, you had to hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Like I had to start keeping stuff like napkins. You know what I mean? Toilet paper, something, because
Did you do the hold over the toilet because you don't want them sitting on it?
we've been there, we've been there. And people look at you funny, and I'm like, this is my daughter. I kill all y'all in here. You know, and we can't just go into the ladies' bathroom with them, but then you go into the men's. I'm gonna tell you what. I will honestly say this: I was offended by every damn move that a man made in the bathroom if my daughter had to go in there. Every move. He ain't even paying attention to her. But again, we got a certain way. We go in the bathroom. I don't care if you shake, keep on moving,
Oh,
whatever,
so you got
around
a
while
chance.
you're
You
doing
got
it,
to see
whatever.
what it was like for us females. Is what you're saying.
Well,
Right.
what I did with mine is if we went in the men's bathroom, we had a rule. It was close your eyes until I tell you open it. So once we get in the stall, you can open. Because again, I don't know what anybody else is doing in there.
Right.
So walk in, close your eyes. Once we get in the stall, good.
Right.
Come back out, close your eyes till we get to the sink. That way you wash your hands. Go about your business.
Right. There were so many times. Say it again.
I said Mara probably washing her hands like this with her eyes closed. Like, Daddy, this is
God.
fun. Like,
There were so many times that I just didn't go to the bathroom because I didn't trust the situation. I was like, I'll be all right. I can hold mine till later. Because I'm in here for you. You handle your business. I'm a man. I'll hold it for a while. We good. We gonna go. I had one incident where in my mind it seemed like the guy intentionally turned around to shake with his thing out. Almost caught a case behind that. Because Kiara standing over by the sink, again, eyes closed, but there's a little girl in here. Come on, man. You know what I mean? You're at the urinal, you pee at the urinal, you zip up at the urinal, turn around, get out of here. You clearly see she's in here. So it was some adjusting. Some adjusting.
Yeah, that for me, that was probably the first time in college that I probably had a dry room. Wasn't no action going on, wasn't no drinking going on, because I had her 90% of the time. So it was, nope. If I was going to go out, I tried to make plans in advance. I would have a backup to the plan in case, because if her mother was supposed to watch her, it'd be one of those, oh, you think you're going to go out? Nah, she going to come back over to your room. So I would have to have a babysitter in place just in case you won't play this game.
Finding a babysitter was not easy either. So
well, see, I had her in school, so I had teammates. I had her mama's friends. She was always on my hip, but I will say I always had a babysitter if I wanted them. I just tried to not to use them all the time. Like she went to class with me at times. She went to track practice and football practice with me. So coaches was babysitting then. So yeah, it's one of those when we went to the calf to eat. The lady at the front would sit there and hold her until I make both our plates, set them down. I'd come back and get her. She had her little four-wheeler. That's how she'd get around campus. I'd be walking. She had her little door four-wheeler. Gone.
At least you had it set up. I just remember trying to change some ways, and I remember one point somebody called me on the phone, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm about to do." Hey man, let me hit you back. You know what I mean? Like I just realized, like I can't have this conversation around you. Let me get off the phone. And I'm not saying that I really would have had these conversations around my boys. It was just a different time and different atmosphere, and I realized I had to like switch up a lot. And
so, you all became your awareness became different when having young ladies. So I'm gonna jump a lot forward. Now everybody's grown, and the raising, I'm not gonna say it's done, but for lack of better term, the raising part is done now. It's more of a coaching, because they're grown. In looking at the podcast, that the red pill, the listening to or being in the dating scene and knowing that you have children, young ladies in this pool, what are some of your biggest fears and what are some things that you go, oh, I ain't got to worry about that, because you know who they are, they know who they are. Like, what's one of the two for both of you?
I raised my girls to whoop a man's ass.
Wow.
Don't take no shit. Akira has dated a basketball player. Kiara has dated a basketball player. And these girls ain't taking no smack from nobody. I'm always fearful of a man trying to take advantage, but I know it won't be because they were stupid. And they already know that they can call daddy. I'm ready to go to jail. It's fine. Fine. That's what I got.
Mine was the opposite. I didn't raise them to take shit, but I didn't raise them necessarily to whoop a man's ass. It's one of those. I've tried to teach them that if you're going to be in a relationship, there should be a give and a take, and it should be equal. And anytime you don't feel it's equal, then you need to have a conversation. And if that's not working for you, then maybe that's not the relationship for you or the person for you. But ain't nobody gonna hit on you. But at the same time, don't turn around and be hitting on people and expect not to get hit back.
Oh, I've told them that.
Because that's the thing too. You can't turn around and go well off on them, and then when he hit you, it's it's one of those. No.
I don't
learn to use your words. And
I got
if it's something that you're not comfortable in, just leave.
Now the thing is, okay, so we talked to say one of the things is always a guy. But I mean, like think about the podcast that they're listening to, and I know both of you have said, oh well no, they're in a relationship, that's fine. But as a woman, I'll tell you, love make you stupid. Love will make you stupid. Love will make you stay. Hold on.
I don't think that's a sex thing. I think that's.
No, I'm not saying that that's a sex thing. In regard, well, that part I know. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it as for women only. I'm saying in general, both sides can say, oh no, I was stupid for that one, or I was dick happy for that one, or that one, she had me wrapped up tight because her cool cat was good. Like, love will make you stupid regardless of what you've been taught. So again, thinking about the state of the world, the pool that these women, our daughters, have to pull from. What is your fear? Transparent moment. What is a fear of yours?
One fear that I have is they'll get pregnant by somebody that'll leave them, and then they become a single mom. It's always a fear. I've seen both. We've seen both sides, so we know what it is. You know, we know what the struggle is. My fear with them is that they get with someone who hinders their full potential, because I know what they're both capable of, and I don't want them to ever be in a position where, I mean, I know I can, but he's kind of, you know, or she, because you never know. The tables turn all the time with people, so you never know what they'll do. But I don't want them to end up with somebody who can't complement them on a level where they both are gaining together, where they can see their full potential, you know, or, you know, getting set up, because Lord knows this pool is messed up and people now are just, oh, come meet me here, come do this. Next thing you know, you don't see them anymore, or then they got set up. You know, I think I told one story on here before that, you know, the two kids together had been together since school and all that stuff. He got her away from her family. You know, they supposed to be going on a romantic trip, and he got her out of town, across town, in some state or whatever, and brought all his gang members in there because it was the initiation was to let his gang members hit his girl. And that, you know, stuff like that is always a fear, because people just aren't right. They haven't been, they're not now. And that was easier because of this. You know, now you can set up things easily without even, you know, 6 o'clock tonight, whatever, you know. So that's always a fear of mine.
Um, I don't know. I think for me, my biggest fear is really any of my daughters really being played to the point where they put so much into someone, and the whole time that person was never looking to give them what it was that they presented. Like, I'm not talking about like, are you being with somebody and then, you know, they just fall short. I'm talking about love. I deliberately had this goal to be able to do X, Y, Z with you, and I was never going to reciprocate.
Yep.
Never going to reciprocate. So, I think for me, that's the biggest thing, because again, we all are human. We're flawed, so it's going to be times where, yeah, people may want to do this, and they may fall short of that. Shit, like, you know, things happen.
Right.
But no, I'm talking about like deliberately going into a situation and that other person knowing she's never gonna get what she's asking for.
Right. I can see that.
So
That's something. That's something. I think I don't know. I think I can't say we all have been there, because I can't speak for everybody, but speak for myself. Being played is trash, yo. It's trash.
Nobody wants somebody to play in their face.
Nobody.
No.
Nobody, regardless of gender, nobody wants somebody to be played in it. It's somebody to play in their face. Whether that's they playing you for sex, they playing you for money, they playing you for trips, they playing you for a place to live, right? Because a lot of stay bumps, time, whatever they may be playing you for, attention, because whatever status, clout, all of that. Nobody wants. I feel like that's just a universal, like, because who wants to do that investment
For nothing.
to then for no, because that's what it is. Who wants to do all that investment for nothing? That's a waste. God, who wants to waste that time?
For nothing. Yeah. So, okay, my last question is, Sissy, I'm gonna let you ask one. Okay, what are some things that you're looking forward to from your daughters?
Yep, that's alcohol.
Like, what is something like maybe it's a point in life, maybe it's a special event. What is it that you're looking forward to from that has not happened yet from your daughter?
All right, so I told my oldest one, I said, hey, 45 next year. So what that mean? I said, I'm 45. Like, what that mean? Okay, I told you, you got to hold out, for me being a granddad, I'm 45. I said, I don't mind being G-pop after 45. And she said, you going to be waiting?
I was gonna say, Sarah ain't going for that one.
He said,
Sarah ain't
I
going
might
for that.
consider around 30. We can talk about this again around 30, but I got to have a house and a husband that can support said house. And without that, I don't want it. I said, okay, cool, but don't wait till I'm like 65 because I ain't changed to have nobody kid at 65. I'm going to look at them like, hey, there you go. That's it. But I'm looking for, hey, man, look, I'm be timing it like, your folks be here 3 hours. Yeah, they still good. They still good. Yep. You want some?
I feel like, because I know when we were still trying, I was like, once I get to a certain age, I don't want no more babies now, because I don't want to be 60 at a high school graduation.
It's the same Bama
If
that
not if it's my child.
when I had his baby 2 months ago. You lying? You lying?
Because I was just trying to try.
you trying for crying sake. Just want to see if I still got it. Just want to see if I still got it. I'm ready for my daughters to say, "Hey, Dad, come see my house." Hey, Dad, my 24. Kara, she bought a car. Hey, Dad, I went and got my car. Now, I kind of wish I was there to help her with said car because I told her car has a lot of miles on it, and she's just finding out within the last week or so that her car is trash. They're gonna try to fix it as much as they can. The head gasket went, the coolant leaked down into one of the cylinders. Right now, the repairs at $1,200, and if she needs a new engine, it's $5,000. But you know what? We all live and learn. I told her to get the $1,000 repair on it and trade it in.
Oh, they just told me mine was gonna cost $12,000. So
yeah, if she had called me and said it was $12,000, I probably would hung the phone up. Click. The answer, hello, hey, you got the wrong number. Actually, man, I know what it is. I'm looking to go to their house and jump on their damn couch. Feet,
I can't wait to go and throw forks in the trash.
Man, that's a good one. I wasn't even thinking about that.
I want to break a couple glasses and say, oops, my bad. And just keep going about my life.
Glasses. But the forks in the trash is a good one.
Oh, I'm definitely
That's the Kiwi thing. That's the Kiwi thing. Throw her forks away.
I just want to see that first one walk across the stage.
College stage, y'all. Let's be clear.
With her bachelor's.
Whatever stage they talking about.
We might have new people who don't know how old these girls
are. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Girl.
I mean.
So the high school stage, she already did.
They were kind of grown now, so
You're right, because I was gonna say they not into theater. So what state?
Mm-hmm.
But if anybody who is new, you gotta give context.
I know, I get what you're saying now, but I'm telling you where my brain went. I was like,
okay.
Who is in theater? Nobody dances. What are you talking about? Right. That's the stage that I thought about. I didn't think about high school. And I got high schoolers. And one of my daughters is in high school. Didn't think of it. Sorry. My bad. My bad.
So as I said, the college stage, for those who are new or don't know, that's what we talking. Then he said bachelor, so but I didn't know if he was gonna bring that up. So
Right. I got you. So what was it like? Tell us about the first time you realized your daughter was a woman. And what did that do to your mental? And did that change your thoughts of womanhood or women in general? Like, what was that process about? What would you tell somebody that got that coming up? And you about to experience that too. Well, you have experienced that 3 times. So,
what do you mean? When is that time?
yes, when they have officially become a woman,
Or
you start to see the body change.
For that oldest one, I watched that from a distance, so it was different than the 2 that are in the house.
Okay, so talk about it.
For number 2, I was cool. It was one of those, okay, expected. Number 3, I feel like it was sooner than I expected. And with her mindset, I was definitely nervous because I was like, I don't have time for my hood rat baby coming in here with hood rat babies. Because I ain't raising nobody else's kids. I don't want to raise mine half the time. I definitely ain't in the stage to raise any of theirs right now. You and that baby be outside.
Well, that would be part of the problem. She was outside the door that way, so you might want to bring her in the house.
No, let her stay out there. Know just how wild it can
get. I mean, my oldest told me it came to me first, so the situation was a little different. I didn't have time to process it till after. Like I was really on it. Oh shoot, let me go get this and this and this. Which one you think you're more comfortable with? This. Hold on, I'm gonna go grab the multi-pack with this. And then I was like, wait a minute. Why are you talking to me about this and not your mama? Like she don't have no experience. And she really gave me the look like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to talk to you. So I took that as a very intimate moment for us. Because I'm like, you really trust me that don't know the first thing about these things, but you trust me. Guess what daddy going to do? On the way to the store. Hey, she is she might have been 12. When she was 12, 13. Okay, so for a 12-year-old, what is the best thing? I even got in the store, and there was one lady stocking. I said, how much do you know about these things? And she looked at me like I was a damn idiot.
Yes, because what?
Yes, as she should.
But my thing is this: I had to ask her because some people stick to one brand and never try nothing else. So I need to know what's comfortable, what's not comfortable, what may damage, what may not damage, what should she get at this age, what should she not get at this age. And she was like, "You're really a concerned father." Yes.
A multi-pack she should not get at that age.
Well, she could get a multi-pack of pads because you don't know what your flow's going to be.
Right.
At 12, 13, you don't need that.
At 12, 13, you don't need a multi-pack of pads? You don't need a super regular and overnight? You don't need that?
You don't need a super. Absolutely not. If you need
she needed a super.
I needed an overnight. I don't know. That's nice.
If that was the case, medically, you should have went to the doctor immediately.
Well, she went to the doctor.
But no, because for me, it's a family thing. Like, but let me, not to cut you off. Let me pause for a second. I want to say this. I want to say this as a black woman. I don't have an issue with doctors, but this is what I will say. I think the best thing a black person can do, especially in this here country, is talk to your own family members. Because there's a lot of, when people like talk to a doctor, let's be serious about what most doctors are going off of. And it's Caucasians. It is not white, black people. It's not brown people. It's not none of that. And a lot of the stuff that is normal for us or maybe normal for your actual family may not be normal for other people. My family is known for, we just heavy. Like, we just heavy. Like when your period starts for real, because some start with like, it's brown and it's not really fully blood. You get like the spotting situation and then it hits. For some people, they hit heavy from the beginning. Other people, they are like regular, like every 28 days. I know that life now. I didn't know that life growing up. But again, I asked my family, and what's normal for me will be extremely abnormal for other people. But that's what's normal for me and my family. So my thing is get a multi-pack so you know where you stand. Plus the other part is if you get in like a super, you're not gonna have to change it as much. Like if you have a light flow, you don't have to change this as much. So you also can go through your day.
Okay, this is not about that, but should never at 12, at 13, even if you're heavy, should not be using the super because it's too much. It's drying out your inside. It's so much. We're not going to get into that. And I say that as someone who has the medical problems that she has in those areas and the education that I educated myself with, and I know I understand genetic history when it comes to that. I have that too. However, if it comes like that, regardless, you should have went to the doctor. And I'm saying that as someone who has serious issues down there. If you are 12, 13, 14 years old, even if your family history is heavy, go to the doctor. I know they're not always reliable, but you have to start. Go to the doctor. Have the conversations. I'm not saying don't talk to your family. Definitely talk to them too. That way, when you go to the doctor, you have more verbiage, education, in reference to what to tell the doctor. But go to the doctor. If you are a young lady and you're hearing this at 12, 13, 14, 25, 35, not all of them are bad. Go to the doctor. Please, go to the doctor.
Given the importance of this health-related topic, it is critical to clarify a few important things. It can take up to 2 years for estrogen and progesterone levels and periods to settle. It is important to note that even in healthy girls with normal hormonal levels, the onset of the menstrual cycle and ovulation varies and depends on several known and unknown factors. When preparing for the coming of your daughter's first menstrual cycle, a multi-pack of pads offers a variety of options for whatever flow she may experience during the course of her first few periods. If your daughter experiences extreme cramping or bleeding, irregular cycles, or cycles that last longer than 7 days, especially after 2 years from the onset of her first period, please consult a medical professional.
But back to the topic at hand. When you start seeing the opposite sex interact with them as they're going through puberty, like I really want to know, all in all, like what are at the different stages of watching your child, your female child, your girl, your little girl grow up? What mentality? Okay, you big change when they were younger. Great. Now they're growing up. Your mindset doesn't stay the same. At each stage in life, you start thinking about different things. So I'm going through each stage of life. We talked about as a baby, as a kid. We talked about what do you want them to see. But that middle stage, that transition, that between 8 to 17, what was that like for you?
All them niggas ain't shit. Stay the fuck away from. That's what that is.
You didn't even give me a chance to say it.
I don't
You
want to
didn't
meet
give me a chance to
nobody.
say it.
If I meet him, first question can you fight?
Can you fight?
Did I not ask Mars' little boyfriend that when we went down there prom? Can you fight, nigga? Yes.
Okay. Anything else other than violence? That is sad, y'all.
Look, man, I ain't say it was right. I ain't say it was right. I mean, here's the thing, man. I had several conversations. Boy smile in your face, this is what he want. He start hitting on you, this is what he want. They don't know how to express it right, this is what he want. That's all he want. He don't know nothing about relationship. He might feel like, I love you, this is what he want. I'm telling him all this stuff. And I'm also like, but if somebody's putting forth the effort and showing you, like, I'm willing to wait, I'm willing to chill, I'm not trying to push up on you, I'm not trying to do all this. The other thing that I told him is all of your information is liable to be spread out throughout your school. Understand that. So any secret that you telling any boy, I promise you, is not a secret. Because he done told his homeboy, hey, man, she got big boobies. You know what I mean? I seen them. She let me do this. And it's going to go from, man, I seen her boobies to, man, I had her stretched out on this floor with her legs this way. That's how it starts. These are the things that I told him to be mindful of. And if nothing else, if he put his hands on you, break his hand, kick him in the dick. I ain't care. Like, just I told you, I taught my girls to fight like it was their last fight. Because I'm not saying it was right, but that's what I had. That's what I had. I was more worried, and to be honest, I was more worried about a grown man doing anything than these little boys. That's what I was worried about. I was like, these little boys, don't worry about it. The grown men, these are the ones that'll snatch you up, take you. You got a centipede that just keeps walking back behind your couch. I keep
No, no, that is the middle children.
You're not supposed to see that.
That is the middle.
I get that. I get that.
Those are the Wonder Twins.
But all my stages were more so that come to me, ask any questions. You can ask me any question you want. Never lie to me because I can't help you if I don't know. And this is pretty much stayed current with every stage of their life. Now with Kiara, I had her till she was 6, but she moved with her mama. So she moved to South Carolina. Distance, kind of hard to raise a child. I ran down there as many times as I could. When she moved to Hawaii, can't run to Hawaii. So some years passed in Hawaii, she came back looking like a little woman, and it was just like crap. You know what I mean? I missed some molding stage. All I could do was talk to her on the phone. We had video chat, but I missed some stages. Then when she came back, I still had authority over her with no issue. Like there was never a moment where she was like, I'm not going to listen to you. I was still the authoritarian. So if her mom had an issue, she would call me. I show up. There was no issue, period. But trying to regulate that was different. My 24-year-old, I came here, she drove up here. You know what I mean? Like we had more of a bonding moment because she traveled to see me. Like right now, my 20-year-old lives in El Paso. We're supposed to be moving to Vegas. I don't know if they're there yet or not. I haven't heard from a few months. I've reached out, but I figured you're changing some stuff. I'll give you a chance. It's kind of hard to raise at a distance. So I did all that I could. El Paso is a two day and some change drive. Not gonna get there in a day.
Yeah.
Hawaii, you can't drive to. Vegas, I can fly to both of them, but I gotta know where. It's just it changes in stages.
I get you.
So.
What you looking at me for?
Because you can answer.
I literally already answered, but I dealt with that with the first one. Where for the first 2 years, she was right there. And then after that, it was, I go up once a month, I have her whole summer, and then somewhere lines got switched, and then it was spotty. Oh, I'm seeing her like 3-4 times a year versus 10 to 15. Like, so it was different. And then she started playing ball. As she started playing ball, it's my time, which was summertime, she was in travel ball. So it's like, do I pull her out of travel ball?
Right.
So that she can come down and spend time with me, or do I let her do something that she says she wants to do?
Right.
So
try not to be selfish. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we talk about the grown, like you said, you were more concerned about the grown men. How do you prepare your children? How do you prepare your girls for that?
I talked about it.
You have teenagers right now. What conversations are you actively having with those young ladies, or have you had in the past with those young ladies? Because as Marshall stated, the bigger concern from him was not the boys their age. It was the grown-ass men.
Well, for one, always be aware of your surroundings. Don't turn around and get yourself so distracted where you don't know what's going on around you. That's one. And then be in places, quote unquote, that are appropriate of your age, especially for the younger ones. The older ones, a little bit more difficult because when it comes to college, folks range from 17 to 40, 50. It's a whole lot harder. And then with her playing ball, she's in town, out of town. She does more traveling, so there's more things. So it's just making them self aware and just kind of observing what they have going on, because you can't protect them 24/7 as much as you would want to. You know what I'm saying? They're still going to go and they're going to live their life. The only thing you can do is tell them what to watch out for and hope that they heed your warning and actually pay attention. If ever they feel uncomfortable, leave the situation or simply call for help.
All of that. And
And
I showed both my girls how to get a grown man off of them.
and balance.
Yep. I showed them how to use their hands. I showed them how to utilize things around them. I showed them how to disable a man if he ever gets on them. We didn't play any games. I don't trust the world. I don't. So I just wanted to make sure that when you're not in my sight, because if you're in my sight, I'll kill him. There's no question. I have no problem with that. I've made peace. All right. But you're not going to be in my sight. I'm not going to always be able to make it there. So I wanted to make sure that you at least have a good idea of how to get somebody off, how to disable somebody, how to get away, not stay there and fight. That's not smart with any situation, but how to disable and leave. That was it, because I'm like, I've seen stuff, I've had horror stories, I've had stuff happen to close friends' kids, and it's just, if I don't give you anything else, I want to give you some words of wisdom, and I want to give you just a few techniques just in case. You old enough, get a gun. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I'm just saying, like, real talk. I don't know how much you can really give your girls, to survive in this world. One thing that Siobhan said is, especially we as black men, we always think we're like the bottom of the barrel. People think less about black men more than they think about anything else until you hear black women's story. And then you realize there's so many times where we feel like we're not heard, and they are definitely not heard in scenarios. And I don't know how many times I've seen where a black woman has been beaten, has been raped, has been in a situation where she didn't cause it. And the first thing the person will ask, well, what did you do? That's not the question that you should be asking right at that moment. And because of that, I tried to do my best to just say, hey, these are some techniques. I don't know if it's going to save you. I don't know if it's going to help, but I know if I don't teach you anything, it's going to be a problem. This is the best that I got. And a phone number. And trust and believe. When I had that issue with Kiara, from here to Columbia, South Carolina, it takes 8 hours. I got there in 5 hours and 45 minutes. It was the fastest I've ever driven a vehicle ever. And I had kill on my mind. Kill. But that's 5 hours and 45 minutes that something in this world, you know what I mean? Like, I can't solve it. That's the fastest I could get there. So I had to give them some type of technique. Like, hey, look, this is what I got.
I mean, that's smart, definitely. Definitely, fathers are important for a number of reasons, which is why we like to talk to fathers about children in general, whether male or female, and let them talk about their experiences. So my last thing is, how did you feel when your daughter came to you and said, I have a boyfriend, or I would like to go out on a date? What was going through your mind? What were your emotions? What was like?
Where we going? That's the first thing. Them other two. Where we going?
I told Kara, no, you don't. What you talking about?
No, you don't.
I told Mara that the other day. She had posted. This was probably like 4 weeks ago. She posted her little boyfriend. I said, I'm the only man in your life.
She not pop. Like, not like, just you.
Just me.
Oh, okay.
Just me. Grandpa passed away. Just me.
Not her uncle. She got more than one grandfather.
Just me. I didn't stutter. Just me.
Yeah, she
Oh,
was
goodness.
like, boyfriend. I said, your friend that's a boy. She was like, my boyfriend. I said, your friend that's a boy. She was like, no, my boyfriend. I said, that's what I said. Your friend that's a boy. I said, there are certain things that he has to go through for to be a boyfriend. Now, my situation, it's me, and then there's her stepdad. We both been there the same length of time. And her stepdad was saying the same thing. Boy and friend, they don't go together. It's a boy and that's a friend. That's what you have. There is no boyfriend. You can't have a boyfriend because it doesn't exist in your life or your vocabulary. So you have to say boy, that's a friend. He has to go through certain trials and tribulations. I'm like, see, we on the same page.
Y'all are delusional.
She wouldn't let both of us be there at the same time. Not one. Not once.
That is delusional. That is very delusional. Because how do you expect them to grow up and be like, oh, you would say, oh yeah, I expect you to be a wife, have a husband,
It was the age.
but they can't.
It was the age. I wasn't good with the age. It wasn't the age.
Okay, well, what about when they became of age? We're not talking about
when they turn 25, they can date.
Okay, in real life.
In real life.
Rob, it's not real life. If Samar has a whole boyfriend.
She has a friend.
A boyfriend.
She has a friend.
But your boys can come home and tell you they have a girlfriend?
I'm going to tell them, with your girl you look like.
It depends on the age. It was the same.
But I'm not talking about, okay, I am not talking about y'all. I'm not talking, I'm being realistic. I'm not talking about 12, 13, 14 years old. I'm talking about when they really have boyfriends and girlfriends.
Because anything in high school, no.
You can't say that. Malachi had a whole girlfriend in high school.
No.
What?
Said what I said, no.
He did. What?
Mm-hmm.
This is why these conversations, this brings my point, are extremely hard because people are delusional.
So
and not honest.
I'm not delusional. When Kiara was dating,
you literally just said she can't have a boyfriend.
When Kiara was dating the basketball player, I said I'd like to meet this young man. She never let me meet him. He doesn't exist in her life anymore. She hasn't found a worthy boyfriend. Akira was dating a basketball player. I'd like to meet him. Never happened. He doesn't exist in her life. These people don't exist. She doesn't have a boyfriend. When she has a boyfriend and she presents somebody to me, that's a boyfriend. And we can have a civil conversation.
Right.
We can have a civil conversation. We have not had these conversations yet. So, she was dating some basketball player. And I was like, oh, okay, I'd like to meet him. And she was like, I said, has your stepdad met him? I'm like, this ain't a boyfriend. If I have a girlfriend, I'm going to bring them to my family because she's a girlfriend, not a friend that's a girl. What she's had so far has been a friend that's a boy. I'm not saying what they weren't doing. I'm not saying they weren't being romantic and none of that stuff, but that's not a boyfriend. You didn't have nobody. They're not there now.
That's delusional.
No,
that is delusional.
No, that's real.
They're not there.
And I say this because now I'm not saying I'm saying this because we can say what we want to say. You can say that's the reality. Her reality is this is my boyfriend, which is someone who I'm having a romantic relationship or even a romantic friendship with. That's what a boyfriend is. So whether you approved or not, whether they talk to you or not, they had a boyfriend. So that's what I mean by being delusional. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Malachi had a girlfriend when he was, but I knew that wasn't going, but they were romantic. And so you're not, and that's why I say we can't sit here, and that's why these conversations to me are crazy, because we can't sit here and be, oh, until I say no. That's not how that works in real life. That's not how that works, because
Well,
we
let
did it
me
when we
let
were
me
young.
let me
We
let
had
me
boyfriends and girlfriends, and our parents didn't know. So we're not going to sit here and pretend like that, and
what
that's
what
why that is pet peeve of mine.
this is not me being delusional. Somebody has to be the hard ass. Somebody has to be the hard ass. Everybody
I
can't.
don't mind you being a hard
Everybody
ass,
can't
but
be. No,
vocabulary
no,
means a
listen,
lot.
How do you go
listen for a
from being
second.
delusional to not knowing? If you don't know, you're not even qualified to ask the question of if I can meet him or her.
No, but that's why they don't. The reason why you don't know, because they won't come to you, because you spit out words and they hear you have conversations like, oh, you don't have no boyfriend. It's okay. Well, then I'll have a boyfriend. I just won't tell you. That's how that happens.
So the difference is, I've known everybody that Kiara has dealt with. I've known everybody that Akira has dealt with. I am a hard ass because if you don't feel like they're in a position to meet your father, they're not shit. Because they're not on that level with you yet. You don't even see them on that level. You're having a fun time. Fun times happen. That's cool. But when you get to the point where, because she really thought, Kiara really thought the dude that was playing basketball, she really thought that he was going to stick around with this. And she was like, Dad, when you come down this time, I want you to meet him. That means she had got to the point where she's like, yo, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this one. Cool. But he stepped off. That happens. I know these things with them because we talk about everything. We don't hide anything. I know when both of them started having sex, and unfortunately, they were not the age that I wanted them to, but I know all this stuff. We have these conversations. I'm just a hard ass because most of the time their moms are just freewheeling. Okay, well, that's what you like. Okay, well, that's cool. And that's not talking bad. That's their position. So I'm playing the position of the hard ass. He doesn't have to be approved by me. He has to be approved by you. And if anywhere in your mind you already have a doubt about me approving them, that means somewhere in your mind you didn't approve them either. You saw them as a fun time. Well, I'm dealing with them right now because it's a fun time. That's fine. That's your prerogative. But when you come to me and like, I really like this dude and this is the dude, I want you to meet him and all that stuff. Now you have a boyfriend. That's what I'm giving. I'm not giving them a space where they feel like they can't come and talk to me about who they're dealing with and what they have going on. What I'm giving them is, you might think this person is everything, but the moment that you think about Dad, you look at this person real quick and you go, yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? Once you had that moment of I don't know, now you know you got some things to figure out whether this person is worthy of being with you, whether this person is worthy of being around. If I'm just having fun with somebody, I'm not bringing them around my family. They may not be around long. But if I really feel this person on a level, yes, I'm bringing them around my family. That's how I am. That's what I was instilling them. I can't tell them that. They have to feel that. They have to think that. They have to know that.
Oh, I understand that, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna just be honest with you. That's not how that works.
I
I'm
know
just
you have people, but like I
as
said,
a female and a daddy's girl, I'm gonna tell you that's not how that works in real life. Because there are too many times and instances where the daughters, the boyfriends, when they don't want them to meet the fathers, it's not because they don't feel that because they know no matter what their daddy's not gonna like them. No matter what their daddy's gonna do X, Y, and Z. No matter what this is, that, and the other. But there are so many females who, oh no, my father don't rock with my husband. Oh, my father don't rock with my boyfriend. My father don't like my boyfriend. And that's still their boyfriend.
and that's fine. And that's fine.
But that's
But
my
what
point.
I'm
So you
saying
can't
is,
say that. The point in the matter is that negates what you just said. They're gonna have it. So that's my thing.
For them to not like them, they would have had to meet them.
No, not necessarily. A girl can say, I don't want you to meet my family because they're not going to like you. And she can know that because he may be different from what the family is. And that don't mean it's a bad thing. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. But see, no, he's saying it as if that's a negative thing. But then that's on her. That doesn't mean that's a bad thing.
It doesn't, but then that's on her. You can't put that on them because she made the assumption. She made the assumption because you really can't say for certain if you didn't bring them around. You are assuming they not gonna like dude because X, Y, and Z.
When you hear when Marshall says what he just said, that you can't have that mentality and then say, oh, well, she don't have a boyfriend. No, she does have a boyfriend. She does. Whether you want to call him that or not, that's on you. But she has a boyfriend.
But you asked them how they feel about her having a boyfriend. So, well, their daughters having boyfriends. So you're basically asking them how they feel about their daughters claiming some dude. And they're telling you, if I have not met him, her claim on him, fine. They're not saying that she can't run around, this my boyfriend, this my brother.
No,
this my
they
husband.
literally
Whatever
just said, oh,
they
then
want
she
to
don't have
call
a
him.
boyfriend. He literally said that. He said, oh, then she don't have a boyfriend.
But you're not, see, this is what I'm saying.
That's how I.
Hold on. Cause see, ain't nobody gonna cut me off because I haven't said shit all episode.
I'm not asking about that.
So I'm saying this. This is what I'm saying. You asked them, how do you deal with your daughter having a boyfriend? To them, if I have not, that's not saying that you can't say it. They're not saying my daughter can't claim this boy, this man. They didn't say she cannot claim him, aka she can't have one. They're saying I don't recognize it if I have not met him in my life. To them, this young man does not exist because I don't know him. It's the same way you can live with, back in the day, because you can't do this now, you can still actually at this point live with somebody for 7+ years and this my husband. The law does not recognize your husband, girlfriend, wife. You can claim that verbally as much as you want to, but the law does not recognize. That's what they are saying. They're not saying Samara can't say she got a boyfriend and this person can't say they got a boyfriend and such can't say it or live that truth in it or whatever they doing, holding hands, getting it in, doing whatever. But they do not recognize it as fathers because I can't recognize someone I don't know.
Okay. But see, that's the delusion. You know that your daughter is actively and romantically involved with someone.
So let me ask you this question. What do you want them to say about a man they've never met? What do you want these men to tell you or say? Oh, my daughter has a boyfriend and I've never met him.
I'm not saying they need to talk about someone they've never met. I put the scenario out there as, you know, your daughter's going to have a boyfriend, period. And your response to that was, oh, he don't come to me, and I ain't met him, then I don't know him. No, that's not the question. That's not the question.
The question is, how do we carry it? I carry it as if he doesn't exist.
How do you carry it when your daughter has a boyfriend? If he don't
he
don't have one.
But that carriage is going to vary based on whether or not they've met. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong. That carriage is going to vary based on whether or not you've met this young man. Yes or no? To the fellas. I'm asking the fellas. If your daughter comes to you to talk to you about Larry, but you ain't never met Larry, but she then comes to you and talk about Ronnie, but you've met Ronnie, you're going to carry them to those two individual men, those two relationships differently. Yes or no?
Yes.
So you asking them, your daughter has a boyfriend, is real general and real vague. And they're telling you, if I've met this dude, cool. If I haven't met him, I don't know him. So I don't acknowledge it. It's two different things. It's two different things. And my
response to that with all that is, if you are not acknowledging that your daughter has a boyfriend simply because you haven't met them, that's delusional.
That's not delusion. So again, my question to you, Michelle, is what do you want these men to say?
I'm not saying that they gotta respond to what I said. Then you don't have to respond to me saying that that's delusional. You gotta say nothing.
I'm not saying the delusional part. See, you're not listening. I'm asking you what answer to the question.
They can have the answer that they have in the response. My response to their answer is they are delusional.
That's not my question. My question to you, what do you want the answer to be? Period. What do you want them to say to you? What do you want them to say? If Samara comes to Rob and is like, I'm dating this boy, I have a boyfriend, what do you want him to say? Good for you? What do you want him to say?
Whatever their answer is going to be. And I'm not telling them what to say. I am responding to their answer.
Right. And I'm not asking you what they answered. I know what they answered. I'm asking you what you want the answer
I want them to answer
to
the question,
be.
which is what they did.
But what do you that's not what I'm asking you. If I ask you what's the weather outside and you tell me it's raining, but that's not what I want to hear. What I want to hear is it's sunny. Whether the truth is it's raining or not is not what I want to hear. I'm asking you what you want them to say.
I want them to tell me the truthful answer to the question.
Which means it depends. So you don't like the fact that it depends on whether they've met this man or not.
No, I'm not saying whether I like it or not. No, I'm just, my response, it's just like a conversation.
So it's delusional for them to not acknowledge someone they've never met.
I expect them to, when I ask the question, a hypothetical question of what would you say when your daughter has a boyfriend? If their response is, I don't know that nigga till I meet him. Okay, my response to your response is, you're delusional.
So it's delusional for them to say, I don't know someone until I've met them?
Because when you specifically say, oh, I don't acknowledge him because I don't know him as her boyfriend. What? That don't mean she don't have one.
So is she okay? So if she has a so my question again is my question again is this. So if you ask them, okay, your daughter comes to you and says she has a boyfriend, how do you feel? Oh, I've never met this guy, but I'm so happy for my daughter to be with this dude who I've never met, who could beat her ass, who could be raping her in the sleep. I don't know him, but I'm so happy for her. Like, what like I don't understand. Because they're telling you, if I met this guy, well, Rob was a little different because he was just like, yo, I don't 25, right? Like, he a little different. But other than like, absolutely not until 25. That's a little different. But Marshall's telling you, I have met some of my daughter's exes or exes at this point, boyfriends, and that's cool. The ones I haven't met, I don't have an opinion. If you say that's your boyfriend, okay, but again, what's his response supposed to be to somebody?
That's not what he was saying, though. He said, oh, you don't have a boyfriend until I meet them.
Right, but so I'm saying, I'm taking...
No, that's no. I can have a boyfriend without them meeting my daddy. She can have a boyfriend without them meeting her daddy.
Okay, and then her daddy has no opinion, and then her father can have no opinion about him. And not think twice about him and be like, I don't acknowledge him.
That's fine.
But that's not delusional. I don't know him to say I have one opinion or another.
This is what I'm saying. He does not have to acknowledge him. I'm not saying, and that's fine. You don't have to. But the fact that you won't acknowledge him, and then in your thought process behind that is, oh, because I don't acknowledge him, he doesn't exist, so she don't have no boyfriend, that's fucking delusional.
If she has not introduced him and she refuses to introduce him to this person, how else is it supposed to be?
That's delusional. I'm sorry, we're just not going to agree on this.
That's fine. We don't agree on a lot because you always right about everything. It's fine.
I am definitely in truth believe that because you haven't met someone does not mean that they don't exist.
In your world, they don't exist.
They don't exist to the person. A person I've
because
never met.
I met Beyonce, but that bitch still exists.
But you've seen Beyonce. You've heard Beyonce.
I ain't met the
you talking
what?
about somebody.
You heard the boyfriend just because you ain't seen him.
You've heard tell of the boyfriend.
She mentioned the boyfriend.
So you've heard of him. Someone mentioning me. Oh, I heard of you, but that don't.
So we're also gonna say that people don't lie because she could say she got a boyfriend that she don't really have. People lie about boyfriends and girlfriends all the time.
About that. That's not what we're talking about.
If you that is though, because to Rob's point, if you come and tell me about Sean, but I've never seen a picture of Sean, I've never met Sean, I've never talked to Sean on the phone, how do I know Sean is real? You bringing up Beyonce, but you've seen Beyonce, you've heard Beyonce, whether you physically met her in person, no, but you do know she exists because you've seen her, you've heard her. If I have not seen nor heard nor met in person Ronald, I don't know Ronald exists.
If you say so.
I do.
If you say so, because to me that's dumb.
It's dumb that I have not heard nor seen nor met this person, so I'm not convinced of their existence. Okay.
Yes.
That's fine. That's
Because who
completely
the fuck
okay.
is walking around? Okay.
You seen the show Catfish?
Dude, it's whole
They
people
still
out here
exist.
lying.
No, they don't. The person that they're pretending to be does not exist.
It's whole people using fake photos, AI, especially in this world of AI, everything else.
Right.
Everything.
But the person who made it still exists. Period.
That's so funny because I literally watched something today about what's the actress Tilly Norwood, who is AI and actually doesn't exist.
But the person who made that exists.
Right, but Tilly Norwood does not exist.
But the person who made it does. So the person is here, regardless. They're there.
An AI person is real? That's what we're saying now?
No, the person who made the AI person is real.
Right, but the AI is not real. So that's the other thing. Everybody these days got so many people with AI boyfriends and girlfriend apps.
Well, that's on them.
Right, but if you
y'all putting a lot into this hypothetical when it comes to y'all kids. Y'all kids. So you tell me y'all kids is walking around making up boyfriends and girlfriends?
They're saying
That's
if they've never met, seen, or heard this person, they don't exist to them. And that's
talking about them and their girls. I doubt if Marshall's daughter is gonna make up a boyfriend to not bring
what
around
I'm saying is, and you're intentionally being dense about this, is if neither one of these men have met, nor seen, nor heard this individual.
But they have heard of this individual.
Heard of and talked to are two very different things. Heard of and spoken with are two different things. You don't have to like it. They are two different things. Period.
I'm not saying they're not two. I know they're two different things. But just because I haven't physically spoken to you does not mean you don't exist.
You don't exist to me. I've never talked
to you. That's you.
That's what they're saying, is that this person does not exist to them. They are saying.
I literally said that's him. And in my opinion, that train of thought is delusional.
I get it, because that's everybody's favorite buzzword these days. So that's fine. Everything's delusional these days. Okay. So it is what it is.
I don't know. I ain't never heard nobody say nothing about nobody being delusional. But okay.
We're not gonna tell that lie when everybody on social media is talking about that's delulu and that's delusional, and I've seen the word delusional thrown around so much these days. We're not gonna tell that lie, but okay.
But okay, like I said, delusional is not a buzzword that I hear. I definitely hear triggered. I definitely hear a whole bunch of delusional is not something that I hear often.
Rob, have you heard delusional often?
Depending on what you're watching, yes.
Thank you. That's it. That's all I needed to know. Because I'm like, please, I hear people talk about delulu. That's so delulu, which is essentially short for delusional.
I know what that's short for, but again, I don't hear people calling or telling people they're delusional on a regular basis. Sorry, I hear triggered. I hear a lot of buzzwords. Delusional is not one. But even if it was, my opinion is what it is, and it's not because it's a buzzword. It's because it's my opinion, and that's what I said, and that's what I'm standing 10 toes down on. Because what I'm not going to do is sit here and pretend that because I haven't met someone that my daughter or son may or may not be in contact with because I ain't spoke to them, they don't exist. That's fucking ridiculous. And that's my opinion in reference to his answer to the question.
So far back.
I don't, but I haven't said much this whole episode to start with, so I just came in the end because that's crazy to me, but
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, we will say cheers to that. This has been another intense episode of A Little Something to Wine About with your hostess, Ty and Michelle.
And Siobhan Camille.
We'd like to thank our guests for joining us today. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and remember, as always,
there's nothing wrong with a little wine.
Or a lot.
Or a lot.